Good morning. Andy Lockwood here with another edition of College Coffee Talk. This is a quick daily video that I do with the purpose of answering the questions that we have gotten, Pearl and I have gotten over the last 2.5-ish years in our live webinars and workshops and emails that come in and so forth. So if you have a particular question about college financial aid and scholarships and getting into college, picking colleges, majors, careers, stock market, no, everything else, that's not the stock market, anything college related, that is the purpose of this show. And please pop your comments into this section, and please like, comment, and share these posts. We're getting a lot of great feedback from people, so I really appreciate your sharing everything. Any parent who you feel like is not getting this information, I think it's nice of you to share that with them. Okay, so I am covering the topic of appealing financial aid awards or negotiating financial aid awards. So the question that I'm answering specifically was from Stephen, and this goes back to March of this month, actually, a couple weeks ago. Okay, so I always ask on our webinars, if you had to choose one thing for us to teach on the webinar, what would it be? And the response was the proper technique for negotiating an appeal of a financial aid award. Or scholarships. We were surprised at how different the aid awards were for our older son, who is now a sophomore. We appealed with a couple of engineering schools by showing them the other better awards from a competing school. Is there a less obtuse way to go about it? So I want to make a few comments, and I also want to give a resource, which is we actually offer a training on this, and the link is right here in this post. It's appealsclass.com, and I go through everything, but in a lot more detail with what I'm about to do, and offer sample appeal letters and some other resources. So a couple comments. The first is this is appeals and negotiation crunch time. April, is that marks that time frame. So we're in March 31st as I record this, but tomorrow's April, as I understand. And the reason that it's crunch time is because most housing deposits go in on May 1st, which is a sign of commitment. So from the potential college student to the college. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes, last-minute scrambling around by the enrollment people, which are either staff at colleges or consultants who they hire to help them with enrollment. And part of that is trying to figure out how much money it's going to take to get the desirable students to come, which means that in many cases, you as the consumer, as the family, you are in a position of power at many colleges. Maybe not the super elite schools, don't get me wrong, the Harvard, Yales, and Princetons. They don't always have that much of an issue. They don't really have that much of an issue of getting enough applications, but they do compete for qualified students. So even those schools will occasionally budge, off of their financial aid offers. So that's the first thing, is just understanding that what's going on behind the scenes. Now, it's great to have offers from other schools when you negotiate or when you appeal. That's one of my favorite things to be able to use to show your top choice school an offer from one of the other schools that perhaps you have chosen strategically just for the sole purpose of having these arrows in your quiver to be able to use as leverage. So that is a great technique. As Stephen said, like I said, it doesn't always work because there could be an instance where the college that you're gunning for doesn't recognize the other schools as competitors. So I think I was having a lot of my days are blending in this time of year, but I think I was having a conversation a couple of days ago with a client who had gotten into I think it was Boston College and Notre Dame, and they had also gotten offers strategically, because we had suggested that they do this, from schools like Providence College and Dayton. Now, although these colleges are, all part of the Holy 12, as I like to call them, the Jesuit schools, they don't necessarily compete with each other, meaning that, schools like Notre Dame and BC, who kind of think that there's God's gift to Jesuit education, don't really care about offers from Dayton or from Providence. But Dayton and Providence certainly compete with each other. They're sort of on the same level. and you can intuit a lot of the types of competitors that are out there. Colleges that are in the same athletic conference, or some of the counterintuitive stuff might be colleges that are reputable in certain programs. So if you're a business major, or maybe you're an entrepreneurial kid, or you're communications major type of person, there are schools on opposite coasts that compete with each other for those types of kids. So that's a great thing to have. The rest of the story, and I can't cover everything, but the main parts, the rest of the story are, you need to have a civil and respectful tone, as opposed to, yo, what can you do for me? Give me a few more dollars. So that doesn't typically work, that type of attitude. No entitlement, no aggressiveness. For those of you watching this from Long Island, I'm sure you personally are not like this, but Long Islanders have a reputation of being a little pushy, so don't live up to that. And you need to highlight information that the colleges don't already have. So it's not going to really be helpful to say, can you please give us some more money, because where I live the cost of living is very high, because on the college applications they see your zip code and your address and all that type of stuff. But if you had a situation where what's on the applications, the financial aid applications, are misleading. So for example, if you have someone graduating 2017, and you have given information that's predicated on your 2015 tax return, but since you filed that return, meaning in 2016, you had some kind of change in circumstances. Let's say you had a job loss, or you're self-employed and your business went into the toilet, or you had some huge unusual expenses, maybe legal or medical or something like that. That is all stuff that is new, because that wasn't part of the disclosures that you would have made when you filed your financial aid forms, which again were based on 2 years ago, prior. So new stuff that's happened since then is certainly fair game to talk about. So, like I said, I have a whole class on this. It's an on-demand training. It's a very comprehensive enumeration of pretty much every argument you can make and every situation. And then we also have sample letters that pertain to each argument, and you can tailor them, of course, to your own circumstances. And that is at appealsclass.com. The link is right here. I hope you are enjoying our College Coffee Talks, and I hope you find this helpful. And again, please share, please like, please drop me a comment. Let me know that you're enjoying these. If you have any questions you want me to answer, I will certainly do so right here on this page. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will be back on Monday, 8:30-ish, with another episode of College Coffee Talk. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.